Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro is warning former Vice President Kamala Harris that she's going to have to answer for why she never raised concerns about former President Biden's health.
Now, Harris says in her new book that Shapiro was one of her VP options for the 2024 race, but that she seemed more interested in the role that he seemed more interested in being president himself, as opposed to how he could help her beat Trump. Now, Harris says that Shapiro even asked an aide about art pieces he could add to the vice president's residence.
How dare he? That doesn't seem like the most
drama.
On his new radio show, broadcaster Stephen A. Smith asked Shapiro why Harris didn't address concerns about Biden's re-elections during the race as opposed to in her new book. Here's Shapiro's response.
I mean, look, I haven't read the former vice president's book, and she's going to have to answer to how she was in the room and yet never said anything publicly. And I was very vocal with him privately and extremely vocal with his staff about my concerns about his fitness to be able to run for another term. I was direct with them. I told them my concerns. I told them my worries. I told them what I was seeing in the polls.
Now, Harris wrote in her book how she thought that in retrospect, leaving Biden's re-election decision up to him was, quote, recklessness. This is campaign season starting up. Gavin Newsom has his strategy. It's like basically be a mirror to President Trump. Josh Shapiro is like, get my biggest, because Kamala's still polling as one of the top people to run. It's still early.
Sure.
So he's like, get her out of the way. And Kamala is trying to distance herself from President Biden. Now, my biggest issue with Kamala doing that right now is that it's just too little too late. There was so much on the line. Remember the conversations that democracy was at stake. We already had been through one Trump presidency, that basically the sky was falling if he became president again. So to sit back in silence, and this goes for Karine Jean-Pierre, this goes for Kamala Harris, this goes for anybody. Now, Josh Shapiro is saying that he spoke up. I hope he has receipts. Hope he has an email, something where he's like, we can't, a conversation, an aide that could back him up. Because he better have receipts.
Really trying to get on the, I was.
Yeah, so you better have receipts.
I saw something, said something.
Because everybody.
But he said something then privately. What did he say in public?
But okay, everybody has to be, held accountable, because that's the biggest thing. There's a trust issue now within the Democratic Party. And not that I believe that President Biden wasn't cognizant enough to finish his term.
I believe that.
I don't. So we disagree with that. But I believe that if they felt like he would just to finish at one term, then they should have done everything in their power to make sure that that was the way forward. And it's disappointing to see everyone write these tell-all books, which will obviously be profitable for them. I'm not saying it'll make you millionaires, but books with these level of interest in politics generally do well. We saw what happened with Jake Tapper's book. And so it just is unfortunate because apparently it was a really dramatic stakes at hand that were life or death for many people. They're not.
Yeah, I want to get back to her saying that in the book she didn't pick Josh Shapiro. What, he was too excited, he was too enthusiastic about being vice president. What is it? Like, maybe she can't comprehend that someone would actually be enthusiastic about doing this job.
That seems
thing. Like very not clear thinking. It seems like she did, honestly, I don't know, it looks like she did the exact same thing Hillary Clinton did, which was also a losing move, to pick the most boringest guy named Tim, who will not upstage you in any way because he's just goofy and not particularly charismatic. Well, Tim Kaine was a total non-entity. Tim Walz was slightly more memorable, but not in really a good way. Just not high-quality picks. But they knew they wouldn't be upstaged by them. She saw in him a potential star, maybe. I think Josh Shapiro has a number of good qualities for a politician.
Star?
I mean, he's the most moderate Democrat. I prefer him. I openly prefer him. The cards on the table. And she didn't want that. She did not want to pick the governor, the popular governor of the must-win state. This is amateur mistakes here.
I think so too. I mean, look, iron sharpens iron. You got to bring, you want the best on your team.
Give me some idiot named Tim.
I thought it was an odd choice too, especially
maybe the
because
next Democrat
Pennsylvania
will
was so significant specifically in this race that I thought it was a very odd choice as well. And especially her recent comments also about Buttigieg, saying that the world wasn't ready. I do think that she had some validity in her statements, but it's just all like creating a mess. I don't know how it sets you up for winning the next election if she does want to run. I don't really understand.
She wants to run, but again, this book, and I think she will run, and I think she will have a shot because of her name recognition and her higher profile. And if so many people run, they could get,
and also,
they could step on each other's.
Let's talk about a real thing called Trump fatigue. It happens every 4 years.
Well, I mean, that's for the general. I don't know. The Dems might do fine. I don't know. She's going to have a shot at it, but she's not positioning herself well in terms of this book where she's just blaming everyone else. And she can't articulate a clear break with Biden or what she knew and what she should have said, and it's going to be a problem. That does it for us, though, today on Rising Live. Thanks so much for watching, and look out for more exclusive YouTube content coming your way in just a bit. We will see you back here tomorrow.
I'll be well rested,
just getting started. Bye-bye.